Hello, and we are back again at Talking Politics with Nistula Hebbar here on the Hindus YouTube channel. After a week that saw the Bihar government release the findings of its caste survey, and it's an issue that threatens to dominate the ongoing poll cycle as well as the general elections of 2022. Hi, I'm back again, and needless to say, this episode, as I hinted earlier, will be looking at the impact of the Bihar government's caste survey on the poll cycle, its political implications, not just for the state, but for the rest of the country. So, well, let's go on to what exactly happened. So, on October 2nd, that is Gandhi Jayanti, the Bihar government released the results of a caste survey conducted by it. And after overcoming legal challenges to the exercise. The first part of the survey, that of counting of castes and their relative numbers, showed that the OBCs, that is the other backward classes, and the extremely backward classes or EBCs, between them constituted 63% of the state's population. That's a huge number, of which the EBCs constituted 36% and the largest social segment. Now, this is a segment that had been cultivated by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar as a support base for himself. He had done a lot in terms of giving reservations, etc. for them, the Ati Pichras. And this entire survey, much of the survey's findings were not unexpected, but it has consolidated his position in the state as speaking for some of the most marginalized sections and populous sections of society. In all, the total number of OBCs was 27.13% and EBCs would be 36% of the population. So Chief Minister Nitish Kumar declared that it proved what had been maintained all along, that the EBCs and the OBCs deserved more of the government's welfare policies, and that knowing the numbers would help target welfare programs for them. He called an all-party meeting and he said, this is what we've got to do with the findings of the survey. Now, the BJP, for its part, had been part of the unanimous resolution that had been passed by the Bihar Assembly to conduct this particular survey, and is still trying to formulate a response to this challenge to the BJP's own Mandal 2.0 formulation. Much of it I will be speaking of later, and a formulation that has worked for the party since 2014. The Congress, in a major change from its historic stance earlier, has gone full hog into the demand for a nationwide caste census and reviving the old socialist Lohiite slogan, which had ironically been used against the Congress of the 1960s and early 70s, and that of Jitni Abadi Utna Haq, that is rights according to, or distribution of the welfare pie according to your numbers in the population. So to each according to their numbers, if you really want to go for a very short, sharp take on that slogan. The Congress is also aware that with this move, Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has reinvented himself in Indian politics and gained an ascendancy once again among opposition leaders for having given them a weapon in order to undermine the BJP far more effectively than the Congress had done so far. What the survey has incontrovertibly done is, however, revive the Mandal era backward classes politics. This is in contrast to what had been happening in the last few years, which was the consolidation of a Hindu vote. But this is also in a new avatar. Now, in the 1990s, which was the Mandal 1.0, the original or the OG Mandal politics, Mandal parties like the Rashtriya Janata Dal and the Samajwadi Party commanded the support of an umbrella OBC bloc. And this was added to with minority votes as well. And therefore, these were pretty unbeatable combinations. The only antidote to that was seen as the Mandir politics, which was the consolidation of the Hindu vote across castes and classes for behind the Ram Janmabhoomi movement. Now, post 2014, a new Mandal 2.0 was formulated by the BJP under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as we've mentioned several times before in this Talking Politics, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the second, only the second backward classes Prime Minister of the country after Mr. Deve Gowda, and therefore Prime Minister Narendra Modi had the necessary heft to carve out a new Mandal 2.0 politics, which was the support of non-Yadav OBCs from this larger bloc and also some sections of the EBCs. In fact, Home Minister Amit Shah, while responding to Rahul Gandhi's speech on the women's reservation issue, where he had said that, we want OBC reservations within the larger reservation for women in Lok Sabhas and state assemblies, and had said, BJP is not a government, BJP-led governments do not give representation to backward classes and OBCs. Mr. Amit Shah had in fact responded to that with numbers, and he said that that 29% of BJP MPs were from the OBC category, and the union government had 29 ministers from, again, the OBC category, and BJP's OBC MLAs numbered 365 out of a total of 1,358 MLAs in the country. That is 27% of MLAs of the BJP are OBC category, and 40% of BJP MLCs, that members of legislative councils, the upper houses and state assemblies, that were also from the OBC category. 163 OBC MLCs, out of which 65 belong to the BJP. So he said, look, we have also given a lot of representation to the OBC, so this kind of situation does not attach to us. This was, of course, as I said, the result of a Mandal 2.0, where Hindutva and the non-Yadav OBC carving out created this big vote chunk for the NDA and the BJP. Now we may see a Mandal 3.0 with demands for proportional representation within this bloc. Now, while it looks like Nitish Kumar seems to have gamed Mandal 2.0 with this Bihar caste survey and the questions that it raises, the issue may not be quite as straightforward. For example, NDA ally Upendra Kushwaha is demanding that a socio-economic survey done alongside this caste survey be made public. NDA parties feel that the Yadav community and Nitish Kumar's own Kurmi community have cornered the bulk of reservations and other benefits, and that the socio-economic survey will be reflecting that, and that other communities like Kushwaha, Kauris, etc. have been left behind. So basically, you'll be back to where you were, where the BJP and the NDA says that, look, you may be talking about OBCs, but we are the ones who are actually empowering the ones who are outside of the Yadav and other empowered communities within the OBC bloc. So the second thing that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been doing in election rallies in Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Telangana in terms of responding to the challenge of the caste survey is by emphasizing that poverty is the biggest caste. Now, if you remember that in the 1960s and 70s, when the Lohiite slogan came about, Jitni Abadi Utna Hak, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi at that time had come out with a Garibi Hatao slogan. She also said that poverty is the important issue that needs to be tackled wherever it may occur, among whichever category of population that it may occur. Now, he also said that the Congress was kind of going against its own earlier formulations, where it said that the most marginalized minorities have the first right to resources, after which the more empowered communities need to get it. And so he said, have you changed your mind? Are you going to kind of then creep onto the rights of the marginalized and the minorities who don't have the numbers to fight for their rights? Number two, he also spoke about the delimitation of seats to the Lok Sabha, which has been opposed by the southern states because it would see their representation plunging due to a lower population compared to North India. Delimitation has been frozen in India till 2026 for this very reason. So therefore, all of these questions in terms of identity politics are being thrown into the mix by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, because the Congress has dramatically changed its stance and he feels that he can trap them in their own words. Well, whatever it is, the fact, however, remains that the two big outcomes one can anticipate from the caste survey could be that it could open the door to legally challenge the 50% cap that had been put in the 1992 Supreme Court judgment, that is Indira Sawhney versus the Union of India. A 50% cap had been put on reservations for backward communities and SC/STs in jobs and educational institutions. And the other outcome could be that the NDA government could operationalize the report of the Rohini Commission on sub-quotas for the reserved categories as per socioeconomic and other deprivations. So if you look at the larger OBC block, and the Rohini Commission report says that, if it also comes out with a finding that reservations and other benefits have been cornered by a couple of castes or 3-4 big dominant communities, then if the government says, okay, we will give quota within quota, so many for so many people, so many seats for so many people, that could blunt the force of this caste survey in electoral terms. The NDA's upbeat mood after the conclusion of the special session of Parliament and the passage of the Women's Reservation Bill has, however, taken a beating. The alliance, the NDA, will have to formulate an effective response to this new political weapon at the disposal of the opposition, a task which, as I said before, will dominate this poll season in state assembly elections, 5 states that are going into polls in just a couple of months, and the general election of 2024. This is all I have for you this week. Thank you so much for watching.